All right.
Yeah, so we're recording. So I'll start this out. Welcome to the IAM Podcast. Today I'm joined with IAM's Vice President, Brian Limperopulos. How are you today, Brian?
I'm doing very well, Carl. How are you?
And if things got any better, I don't know what I'd do with myself.
I know it's just we're in such a wonderful time in the world right now, but yeah, lots going on, and excited to talk about kind of what we distributed in the e-portal this past week on Thursday, and give an update to the members on all those news items.
Wonderful. Well, let's get into it. The first story was the annual meeting. So there's an opportunity to save some money here. How does that work?
Yeah, so we are coming up to the end of our early adopter promotional rate. So IAM, as many of you know, but if you don't, we're transitioning our annual meeting to a virtual annual meeting in light of COVID-19. The dates will be October 21 through 23, and it will take place entirely online. But we want to emphasize that this is not going to be just another Zoom meeting, right, Carl? It's going to be much more of an interactive experience where you can learn and network. And I think in particular, we're really excited about the networking capability on our SwapGuard platform. So we'll be launching that very shortly, but we have our promotional rate of $299 per registrant. It goes up on August 31st. So August 31st is our deadline. So on September 1, it goes up to our normal registration rate of $349 at that point. So get in now. And if you're looking to exhibit, we want to make sure all of you are aware that the exhibitor prices and the sponsorship prices have been halved from what they were when you were looking at it in comparison to the on-site when we were going to have a physical face-to-face conference. So if you're looking to make a big splash with a product this year, or just show off, the specific service that your company provides, we have those rates for those promotional items through our virtual trade show. And we think those are a really good deal for companies who are trying to promote and kind of communicate out the value of their service to the IAM global network.
Yeah, this is a unique opportunity, not only because it's half price, but because there's the opportunity for more people, more attendees to be there and to get in front of more people. And of course, like you said, at half the cost of the normal fee for doing this sort of thing.
But it's not even that too. It's Carl, when you go to a trade show, you got to lug all your stuff there. You got to bring your exhibit hall booth. You got to bring tchotchkes. You got to get on a plane. You got to house yourself, feed yourself. You don't have to do any of that this time. So your costs, even the sticker price cost has gone down, and now you don't have any of those other ancillary costs that you have to worry about. So you got to take into account the whole picture with this. And we think the value that we're going to provide in connecting our exhibitors with our members is really outstanding this year. So, another opportunity there.
Yeah, I agree. That's, not having to pay possibly $5,000, plus the cost of the exhibit booth. You're just paying half price for the exhibit booth. Like you said, you don't have to bring a million pens and stuff like that, notepads and hand sanitizer. Not that we don't like getting all that stuff, but it's definitely a huge savings and a huge opportunity for the exhibitors.
For sure. And the last thing there was, our boss, Chuck White, IAM's president, went on Love and Reload this past week. So if you're looking for a deeper dive on that, we definitely encourage you to go watch his interview. That link is there in the e-portal, so take a look at that.
Yeah, and if you don't know Love and Reload, you need to seek it out because it's I think Ben Cross, the host, does something nearly every day, and it's fantastic discussions about the industry, and he's a very energetic guy. I'd be surprised if he said you don't know who he is, but definitely check that out and check out the interview with Chuck White.
So let's move on to, I guess, the next thing that we were highlighting in this week's ePortal, which is IAM Learning. And this kind of comes right into your wheelhouse, Carl. We're going to be having a session on digital marketing strategies and best practices. And that'll take place on September 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And it will feature our members, Ray De Silva, Francesco Argiro, Steve Jordan, and Brian Bloom. These people in our industry who have looked at these strategies and tactics to drive their own businesses forward, and we think those individuals will provide a really good opportunity for you to learn and maybe bring some tips and strategies back to your company to publicize what you're doing and be able to get your company out in front of more customers. So a really good opportunity, September 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you can register directly through the link on the ePortal.
Yeah, and of course, if you know Ray De Silva, you already know that he's this marketing whiz. He really knows his stuff well. Francesco Argiro, we had as part of a learning lab 2 or 3 years ago that I ran at the meeting along with a few other people. And he's just, he really knows his stuff. And Steve Jordan, of course. I'm not familiar with Brian Bloom.
He's with Mover Search Marketing, an IAM supplier member out of California. Brian was a mover, and now he's transitioned what he's doing into kind of providing consulting services and providing guidance and expertise on how better to market your moving company to, I think, the global audience of customers. So another really good resource there. I'm just trying to think. Yes, Brian's been great. As you said, Ray is a marketing machine. Francesco has done amazing stuff with Bliss and how that company is branded. And Steve Jordan, running the independent voice for the moving industry through the Mover. I think a great cast of characters there.
It's something I've seen, Brian, is that sometimes I go to these marketing seminars or sales seminars and stuff, and it's people who are experts in marketing and sales. But these are really people who are experts in our industry who are also really good at marketing and sales. So it's the better mix of skills and knowledge, if you're going to attend something like this. So I think this is a huge opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So register through the link that's in the ePortal or go to IAM Learning directly, and you can access that through Mobility Exchange.
And you can also see some of the on-demand stuff. So these are the sessions that have already happened, but they are available on demand. So some of the recent ones are sponsoring and exhibiting at IAM's new virtual conference, and that was highlighting IAM President Chuck White, who was talking about it. So that's another opportunity, as you said, Brian, for a deeper dive into some of the opportunities here. Another one is the IAM Trusted Moving Specialist, which is a new certification, or it's not a certification. What do we call it? It's a designation.
Yeah, it's a designation, really. And what we're trying to do is through this, and you get a deeper dive by going to the on-demand webcast, as Carl said. But really, there is no kind of global designation in our industry that verifies an individual's proficiency in our business. And this is a first step towards establishing the groundwork or the infrastructure to start doing that, to verify a person's competency and proficiency in our industry. And so the IAM Trusted Moving Specialist is really tied at a lower level toward new entrants into the business. So those individuals who are looking to verify their proficiency and competency, specifically on move management and global move management and some of the other courses that we have available on IAM Learning. But we have aspirations to build this out completely to encompass the whole move process. So I would look at the IAM Trusted Moving Specialist. We've had a great group of people already go and obtain that designation. Richard Stewart from JK Moving, Terrence Wee from Smart Relocators in Singapore, and Abhilash Nair from ISS Relocations in, he's really in Dubai, but he spans over a corporate network in a number of Gulf countries. So I think it's an outstanding opportunity for your companies to get learning, to give your employees access to this tool through IAM Learning, and then to verify their understanding and their competence. So a great opportunity there.
Great. Now we've got some big industry news here. The American Moving and Storage Association, also known as AMSA, joins the American Trucking Association. So that was a big thing.
It is a big thing. I mean, it truly.
I think that sums it up. We're done now, right?
Yeah, maybe we should move off of it. But no, I mean, this took place officially on August 4th. AMSA announced that. And they are moving over to become a conference, a moving and storage conference of the American Trucking Associations. And so AMSA, has a huge presence here in the United States with more than 3,000 members. So what it does is it kind of scrambles up the marketplace a bit here in the U.S. and gives, I think some of the AMSA members are going to be looking at what sort of programs and what sort of services will stay, and what sort of benefits will I still have when AMSA does get absorbed by ATA. So I think there's a lot of companies here in the United States that are watching this carefully. IAM has been, for the last year to 18 months, looking at how we can better represent US-based companies and provide them with specific benefits and services. So we're definitely looking at this as an opportunity as well to showcase what IAM can do for some of these, the agents of US van lines, as well as the independent movers here in the United States. So obviously we're watching this closely, and, for the companies who are AMSA members, much to see here over the next few months and year.
And for those of you who've never seen something like this happen, merging two nonprofits or two companies, for-profit companies, is a huge undertaking. So it's not like they decided this on August 4th and you flip a switch and everything's done. It's going to take a long time to probably iron everything out.
Interesting times, Carl.
That's the truth. Some slightly negative news, but sort of couched in a positive thing. We recently had 2 IAM members expelled. That's Aldana Freight Forwarders in Manama, Bahrain, and Ridgeways in Victoria, Australia. And it's never positive when we have to expel companies, but that is part of the member protection program. So I think it's a negative thing, but it's also something positive we're doing to protect our members.
Yeah, and I want to jump in there because, so these 2 companies failed to resolve debts that were owed to other members. And, one of the foundational aspects of membership within IAM is whether or not you're creditworthy. And because these debts are match the criteria set forth in our bylaws, IAM could expel these companies from the association. So the specific criteria that I'm referencing is if my company owes one or more IAM members a cumulative amount of $10,000 or more, and that debt is at least 120 days past due, the International Association of Movers can expel that company. So in both these cases, Aldana Freight Forwarders and Ridgeways, they both have failed to resolve those debts that are above $10,000 and at least 120 days past due. So we feel like we have a responsibility to the global network of members to remove these companies from the association. I do want to mention, though, that this is not a death sentence. And these companies, if they resolve the debt and any additional debt that IAM is aware of, they can come back into the association. We're not in the business of trying to force companies out of business, but we do need to make sure that there are standards and those standards are upheld.
So how long can they wait before coming back into membership if they do satisfy those debts? Is it 2 years?
It's really predicated on them resolving the debt and then going back through the membership process again. So they'd have to line up 2 more sponsorship letters, go through the 30-day objection period that all prospective members go through. And at that point, our executive committee, as always, has the right to reject an application. But that would be the process, Carl.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that it's not a period. It's possibly semicolon.
Yep.
All right.
Well, in other news, I'll jump down to the, this is some more sad news as well. One of our members, Ziegler Relocation in Belgium, has just confirmed that they're undergoing liquidation. From an IAM standpoint, again, going back to the credit-worthy aspect of the IAM membership, Ziegler's membership was canceled as soon as we confirmed that, which was August 20th. I'm jumping ahead. Was August 20th. So what that means for all IAM members is that from after August 20th, no RPP claims are eligible after that date. We have communicated out that Ziegler is no longer a member. So any debts that were incurred on August 20th or before would be eligible through the RPP. And now any debt incurred after August 20th is no longer eligible. We want you to get your RPP claims in. If you are holding a debt from Ziegler, please let us know as soon as possible. And you can do that in 2 ways. Contact rpp@iamovers.org, or you can file your claim directly through the RPP tool on Mobility Exchange. There are instructions on how to do that linked in the e-portal. So scroll down to the Ziegler section and click that link, and it'll tell you how to go about filing that claim. With that said, again, we're sorry to see a longtime member like Ziegler go through this, and more importantly, probably understand that there are employees behind this company that in these tumultuous times, are faced with this uncertainty. So we hope that all of those employees are able to get back up on their feet as soon as possible. But IAM is committed to helping you through the RPP hopefully recover any debts that might be owed by Ziegler.
All right. In other news, we have every issue of the e-portal, we publish either members who are like new members at the beginning of the month. We also publish in the middle of the month the prospective members and include a map so you can see where they are. So this month, we've got a number of prospective members who will become members on September 1st, barring any sort of reason they shouldn't be members that comes up. But of significance is the Hildrep companies, which now has 7 locations registered. So we're really excited to see that, and we appreciate Hildrep expanding their involvement within the association.
Yeah, I love it. And it's always great to see the map associated with this, because it just shows just the geographic diversity of IAM, bringing in companies from Europe, from Asia, from Africa, from Latin America, and then of course with Hildrep bringing in those 7 locations. So, it's great news for the association. We love new members. We want more new members. So feel free to spread the word to your, the companies with whom you do business that are not a part of the association yet. But great news on that. But with the prospective members, we want to encourage you to look at that list. And if you have any objections or concerns with those companies, now is the time. we need you to let us know that if there's any company who you do not feel is creditworthy or does not act ethically in the marketplace, please send us your objection according to the objection guidelines on the prospective member list.
Great. This is a huge thing. We love seeing the prospective members every month, and we love seeing the new members every month. So yeah, definitely keep your eye on those lists. Speaking of keeping an eye on the list, there's the alleged debtor list. And can you tell us what that is, Brian?
Yeah, so our members, they do business every day with one another, and 99.9% of the time it goes well. People perform a service, they get paid for that service. In that 0.1% of the time, when a member provides a service for a fellow member and does not get paid, that's an issue. So we have our receivable protection program. We encourage our members to file claims through the receivable protection program. And if that one of the claims, if that debt is more than $3,000 US and at least 120 days old, the association will intervene on your company's behalf on 3 separate occasions. And if that debt is not resolved over that series of 3 separate intervention letters, which takes place over the course of 45 to 60 days, then we publish that debtor or delinquent company on the alleged debtor list. So what this does is it provides you with information about which companies, despite the association's best intentions and best efforts, have still failed to resolve the debts owed to their other members. And that could indicate a credit risk if you choose to provide a service to that company without requiring prepayment. So definitely a very helpful resource. Carl, I think every 2 weeks, that's definitely the thing that gets clicked on the most.
That's the truth. Yeah, that is a very popular thing. I'm glad people are looking at it. And again, like Brian said, there's a whole process to this. So if you're worried about it ending up on the alleged debtor list, like, people have to show proof that maybe you did business together and owe some money. So it's not like someone can just call us up and say, hey, Brian Limperopulos owes me a bunch of money, put him on the list. There has to be some proof and some paperwork behind that.
Nobody would give me that much power. That would be a dumb thing to do.
Right. Yeah. But that's about all the news we have this week. Did you have in the newsletter? Did you have anything else, Brian?
I do want to highlight the last article there, which was the AGM group, which is headed up by our one of our Hall of Honor members, Paul Evans, has just bought Bishop's Moves in the UK. Now the AGM group, which is Paul Evans' company, continues to expand that business, and this is just yet another acquisition that company is taking. So I don't want to comment too much on things that are above my pay grade, but yet another big move by that company and bringing on more service providers and making that company a little bit bigger in the United Kingdom. So interesting developments over there, and want to thank our friends over at the Federation of European Moving Associations, FEDIMAC, for sharing that information with us. So from the member news standpoint and the industry news standpoint, I think that's an interesting development over there, further consolidation in the industry.
Well, great. That's it's always interesting news to see.
All right. Well, Carl, we've reached the end, and I think we've had a good discussion about all the news that's fit to print, to steal it from the New York Times. But again, we want to emphasize that we want to hear from our members about what's interesting to you, as well as what's going on with your company. We have numerous outlets in which to publish it, whether it's our portal magazine, our e-portal, the numerous web content properties that Carl administers on behalf of the association. So feel free to contact us, and there's an email in the e-portal at IAMmovers.org that you can click and just send it over to us. So send us your feedback, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us again for another podcast, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you for joining me today, Brian.
Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it.